If you crack first, Dave, it won't make you any less of a man.
I'm nowhere near cracking.
Neither am I, my friend.
Dave. And Matthew, what is it now? For God's sake, no one's smoking, okay? But nothing! You know what we need around here is an anti-whining ordinance. So just sip your sniveling little lip and all your skinny ass out of.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and I remember when DC 5G wasn't really announced, but the rumors were out there. Bleeding Cool was writing a bunch of articles on what it was supposedly going to be, and it was going to be essentially Marvel's all new, all different Marvel Now, SJW Marvel, whatever you want to call it. At least that's the way they kind of they hinted at it. That's what they were using to sell clicks over there on Bleeding Cool. Right here on my channel and in Comics by Perch, we were saying it's not quite going to be that. It's going to be more like Convergence or maybe Age of Apocalypse. It's going to be a different future of the DC universe, a possible future, and then they're going to come back to the regular heroes. And we weren't supposed to get 5G. Now we are getting 5G with a new coat of paint. It's called Future State. Pele, have our worst 5G fears been realized with the new announcement of the new Team Justice team, specifically Kid Quick, who is going to be on the Justice League comic in Future State?
Fuck, this is awful. This is just terrible. Look at this. I mean, what they're just oh, hey, let's try something radical. We're going to do a complete gender swap, and we're going to do completely race bending here, and we're going to just say it's all cool and wonderful. And boy, this is just so unique and brand new. Nobody's ever seen anything like this before.
So it's weird. So this team here, the Team Justice, it's going to be coming out in a very merry multiverse. It's going to be like a Christmas themed anthology comic, and this is only an 8-page story.
Right.
Feels like it's getting far more coverage than it probably deserves. We'll probably never see this team again. They're from Earth 11, but DC is hitting this hard, and it's not because Team Justice is going to be big, but it's because of Kid Quick here, who's going to be the first gender fluid, non-binary superhero that DC Comics is released. And
like
I got the Burger King Kids Club logo on here because we always like to make that joke. I will say this, Pele, before we kind of get into some of the details. If you look at New Warriors from Marvel and then you look at Team Justice from DC Comics, it feels like DC is taking this team much more seriously. Kid Quick, looks like a Flash. In fact, looks like Quicksilver. Whereas, Snowflake and Safe Space were clearly just meant to be jokes.
Yeah, they were taking it. Safe Space and Snowflake. Kibble Smith was taking the piss on that one. He's kind of like, in fact, he really made the SJWs mad with that one because they thought he was mocking them. So that put him time out really fast. But this looks more like an honest effort to try to make something woke. So,
it does look like they're trying a little bit harder. So before we get into all the details, I do want to say, if you're just joining us, if you haven't subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. Give us a thumbs down if you don't. Either way, we want to hear from you in the comments section. What are your thoughts on Kid Quick, Donald Troy, Aqua Girl, Robin, Supergirl, the new Team Justice team, specifically Kid Quick, the first non-binary Flash that's going to be in Justice League and Future State. So let's get to Kid Quick. This is a character's name is Jess Chambers. This is I believe this character's aunt is going to be Jesse Quick, who is the definitive Flash on Earth 11, where these heroes come from. Obviously, this character is on Earth 11. Originally, somehow ends up in Earth 0 as part of the Justice League. Certainly, we've seen the character on the cover of the Justice League. This is the Flash that had the mask. This is essentially Quicksilver, but black in a Flash outfit. Not exactly a new character design as far as a Speedster. Now, I know a lot of people are going to just dump on this as soon as they hear the non-binary, gender fluid aspect of the character description. Now, me personally, I think you can definitely make a non-binary, gender fluid Flash that's cool. But, it's probably not going to sell based on being non-binary, gender fluid. You think about DC Comics and the new characters they rolled out. Batman Who Laughs. Obviously, that was a big hit. It's a Batman Joker mashup. Robin King, big hit. Batman, Robin mashup. We got an evil, crazy Robin. But out of Dark Knight's Death or Metal, there were other new characters. We had Silencer, Sideways, Damage, a host of other characters that they didn't hit, even though they were rolling out of a big hit like Dark Knight's Metal, because DC didn't really sell the characters well. The characters didn't really just sell themselves to readers. So DC is going to have to sell this character to your customers, right, Pele?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll go back to the previous attempt. Damage Rush actually sold fairly well. It wasn't a top 20 book, but we consistently sold probably 15 to 20 copies a week. Wasn't terrible. I mean, a month rather. It wasn't terrible. Wasn't awful. I liked it. It wasn't consistent every single issue, but it was not terrible. It was readable, and I think that the latter issues of it actually were pretty decent. But this, I don't know. It's gender fluid. Okay, I don't see anything really gender fluid about. It looks like a guy with bushy hair. Of course, he can call himself whatever he wants to call himself. That's fine. But that's I just don't see what the point is to dig up a topic like that and slap it on a character when it's not something that's really going to come up in the comic. I mean, is it just virtue signaling?
Well, the character has pronouns of they. I'm sure that'll be in there.
That's just confusing. You can't use plurals around the character. That's Oh, they're over there. Who's over there? They. Well, I only see one person. Yeah, they. It's that's just weird. But okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't.
But I'm with you. If the only characteristic about the character is that they're non-binary or gender fluid, how many people are frothing at the mouth to read a non-binary gender fluid Flash?
Nobody.
I've never really heard anybody go, you know what, the Flash is missing. And this is kind of the problem. And I'll talk about what the writer, his name is Ivan Cohen. This is what he had to say about the character. And this is from the press release. This is what they're selling the character on Pele. This is what he has to say. The Flash character fans have seen teased as part of Future State is in fact a grown-up Kid Quick, who's an analog for the idea of Kid Flash in a world where Jesse Quick is a definitive speedster. A Titans-type team always has a super fast member, but there are so many Flash characters in the DC multiverse, we knew anyone we added to that category had to be really different from the rest, not just Wally West with curves. So this is a female, I believe, although gender fluid. I suggested that Kid Quick could be Earth 11's first gender fluid character, and once editors saw, that's misspelled, I believe, Eleonora Carlini's terrific take on the character design, there was suddenly a lot of interest in them for stories beyond the Merry Multiverse special in December. And while Kid Quick's the only Teen Justice character making their way into Future State that I know of, the reaction Kid Quick and the whole team's debut story by me and Eleonora has gotten from DC editorial, led by Michael McAllister, who put me and Eleonora together, gives me hope that the whole team could play a larger part in the DC Multiverse's present and future. How is he selling the character? The character is gender fluid, non-binary from Earth 11.
Yeah. And
their aunt is Jesse Quick. Other than that, why is the character special? Why is the character important? Why is the character cool?
It just seems to me that they think that the non-binary part is what makes the character cool, not who the character is or how they.
Well, I think that's how they're trying to sell the character, but I just don't think there's enough people out there that they're like, I've just been wanting a non-binary Flash. Whereas I think there are people out there probably like a Batman Joker mashup that sells itself. That sounds exciting. Like this character needs a backstory. You need to sell the character, why they're important, why they're interesting. It can't just be on like one or two traits like that. Just in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're absolutely right. This is it's just weird to present that this is the important aspect of this character. This is the reason why you want to buy this is because of their gender. not because of anything that may have happened in the past, nothing that might be another hook to the character. It's like, this is generic Speedster number 14, and but this one's different because there's, a gender question,
Well, and they also talk about the character design being so cool, and that's what attracted the team to it. It's Quicksilver, but black.
Yeah, right.
It's not original.
I don't see, and he's talking about curves. There's no curves. I don't see any curves in that character. Do you? It looks pretty angular.
I'm not. It's a gender fluid character. I'm not sure. It's supposed to. Every character in there is reverse gendered. Obviously, when you're talking about a gender fluid character, that is a gender identity. Makes it confusing. I think Kid Flash is a male character, but it's a gender fluid character. I don't know, man. It just gets confusing,
It just, they're playing fast and loose here, and they're just trying to. It's that whole crap again where they just flip things on its head and like doing something different just to make something different, and then say that it's revolutionary and unique. When if the writing isn't there and the artwork isn't there, it doesn't matter what kind of quirks and weird things that they try to and try to.
Well, here's my point, Pele. Even if the writing is there, even if the art is there, if you can't market and sell the character, then who gives a fuck? No one's going to read it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true. Nobody's going to read it. It's going to be.
And also, it's
Well, I guess they'll get like stories in Teen Vogue and stuff.
Fire to people that were apprehensive of 5G to begin with, which I think they've allayed a lot of those concerns. If they would have just said, "We have a new Flash, and this is the special thing that about them," and then you realize as you're reading the story that they're gender fluid, I think that's a better way to reveal it, because then people are probably interested in the character and bought into it by now. Once they think that you're only selling the character by their gender identity, I think to a lot of comic readers, it's a turnoff.
It is a turnoff. It's virtue signaling, and it's nothing more than just bait. And it sounds to me it's like something to make the Twitter mob excited, but they aren't really the customers anyway. So you'll have like Vogue Teen and Salon and different outlets out there. They're going to say, "Oh, look how stunning and brave," but it's not going to drag people into actually read the damn comic, because those people don't buy comics anyway.
Well, and Future State's is a hard sell to begin with.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, the Batman comic with Bruce Wayne is going to sell. I believe the Superman comic with Clark Kent, essentially Planet Hulk is going to sell. Probably not even the Diana Prince stuff. There's a few of those comics that are going to sell. They have characters that people know. There's Nightwing is Dick Grayson, Catwoman is Selena Kyle. There's characters that we know, but they have to sell Future State if they don't want everyone to check out of DC Comics for 2 months. And I've said it already. This is a bad job. It's a bad marketing job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna sell. There's gonna be other comics in this that will. There's there is some hype surrounding the Hulk appearance in the DC universe, and people are kind of pumped for that, and the whole Donny Cates angle, as far as his crossover event, but this isn't it. This is not. I don't see. I got a pretty good idea of what sells, what doesn't sell, as far as at least my shop is concerned, and this is just this is bait. Like I said before, it's bait. It's something to get headlines, and I just don't see that it's an actual functional comic book. It's just more like a presentation for look how woke and excited we can be about this.
So this is the rest of the team that's on part of the new version of the Teen Titans, or I'm sorry, Young Justice on Earth 11, and some of it's embarrassing. The most embarrassing thing over here is on the left is Donald Troy. I always like how people would always be telling DC and Marvel, you would never like gender or race swap a character to be a white male. You'd never do that. Well, they called you on it. They did it with Donald Troy, and it's embarrassing. I hope they never do it again. He looks so stupid. He's got hammer pants on, though.
Yeah, hammer pants is exactly what I was thinking, yeah. Hey, the '80s called
time.
and they want Back to the Future called and they want their damn tennis shoes back. You know, what the hell?
And then Supergirl here, Laurel Kent. She's essentially, that looks like Jonathan Kent from Super Sons with a new haircut and a more feminine attire.
Yeah, they're going to try to bring back the Super Sons, but with the Super Girls, the Super Daughters.
Yeah, we have Robin over here.
Yeah,
that character looks fine. Nothing really to think about. Aquagirl I find confusing as well because they are introducing a new Aquagirl. I think her name is Andy Curry in 5G or not 5G Future State. Why would they introduce yet another Aquagirl?
It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you're right.
This is what the writer
introduced.
Yeah, this is what the writer had to say about Teen Justice. This is from Ivan Cohen. Teen Justice is a new super team on Earth 11, the world where there's a Justice Guild instead of a Justice League, and the heroes are gender-flipped versions of the heroes of the traditional DC Earth. And while a lot of Earth 11's history is fairly straightforward reflection of the mainstream DCU, things are different enough that Teen Justice may be the first kid hero team in that world. So their mentors have no experience on how to deal with the dynamics of their sidekicks and proteges setting out on their new independent team. The members are Aquagirl Jackie Hyde, Supergirl Laurel Kent, Robin Talia al Ghul, who all only seem familiar. Aquagirl is the world's Aqualad. Supergirl and Robin are the children's Superwoman and Batwoman. More offbeat characters I doubt anyone would expect are Donald Troy. Didn't expect that. Please don't ever do it again. It's embarrassing. I don't ever want to see a male version of Wonder Woman either. It's awful. Titan fans know better than who asked. And there's another Zatanna, I guess it's Zatara protege.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds like the premise of the story, it's only going to be 8 pages, is going to be that the regular heroes in the Earth 11 find their sidekicks frustrating.
I can see why.
You know what I mean?
I can see why they'd be frustrating.
Isn't it weird that they're promoting like this like it's a big deal? It's 8 pages.
8 pages.
8 pages. There's articles on multiple websites about this team. 8 pages in a very merry multiverse special that no one's going to buy. No. Obviously, Kid Quick, Jess Chambers is going to be in Future State as far as the Justice League team. And that character got a whole other article. There are 2 articles, on multiple websites about this stupid thing that no one's going to care about or buy. It's so weird. Obviously, DC Comics thinks that this new team is important, specifically this character. But I don't think they sold it. They sold it very well at all.
No, they didn't sell it at all. This is, this is just, it's what I expected. It's actually this is what I expect as far as creativity nowadays. This is not.
Does this renew your fears about what 5G was gonna be?
Oh yeah.
Like maybe they aren't telling us the whole truth.
Yeah, this is not what 5G was going to be. This is probably a watered down version of what they were.
Oh, you think it was originally going to be even worse? Like this is a better version?
I do. I think it was going to be even worse, and then they've scaled it back after seeing the. But still, this is still terrible, and it's not. This is not what people. They haven't really given us a decent Superman. Batman's gotten better. It did get better with James Tynion. That improved. Detective improved. Action's been horrible. Anything with Bendis has been horrible. And why don't you they need to fix those. They need to shore up their own titles and actually get to where they can sell comics again.
Well, yeah, Wonder Woman's in really bad shape. Aquaman's in really bad shape. Superman's in terrible shape. Nightwing's in terrible shape. Red Hood, I think, just ended. Batgirl obviously ended with one of the lowest points I'd ever seen in a comic book as far as a finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DC's not in good shape right now. Obviously, the big things are hitting. Batman 3 Jokers just wrapped up. Huge success. Dark Knight's Death Metal. People are enjoying that. People are buying it. Joker War seems to have been an enormous success as well. But the rest of DC isn't doing so good.
No, it's kind of, they're not even running on all cylinders, and they're trying to, launch something new like this, and it's just, no. It almost seems, it feels a lot like, throw anything at the wall and see what sticks at this point.
So as far as your customers go, obviously this is antidote to your shop, and I'll kind of get you off on this question. Have you seen people that said I'm dropping DC when Future State hits?
No.
Okay, good.
Well, they're temporarily. They're like,
Okay,
I'm
so
just
some
gonna
people
take a
are
hiatus.
saying I don't want Batman during Future
Yeah.
State because I don't care about the next Batman or Dark
No,
Detective.
they don't care about that. They just like, well, when Bruce is back, or I'm going to. A lot of people just saying that they just want to take a hiatus from DC for a couple months, except for like the Black Label stuff, Last God, which is still the best damn book that DC publishes, by the way.
I guess it could be good timing because King of Black is going to be very expensive.
Yeah, so it's they'll be spending more money with Marvel while DC just kind of spins their wheels. So. It's just
all right,
that's
Paley.
the
Well,
way it
thank you
goes.
for joining me today, talking about this new Teen Justice team, specifically about Kid Quick, who they're pushing really hard as an important character. Although this team is only in an 8-page story in an anthology that no one's going to read, but DC
Right.
thinks it's an important team, and I'm pretty sure it's just because Kid Quick is their non-binary, gender fluid Flash, which I just don't think sells the character. That's just me.
Yeah.
This could be a great character, but they're not selling it right.
No, they're showing this, ass end. It's they're displaying it in the wrong way. They're not trying to sell this in the proper fashion. It's going to come out and just blow up in their face. So,
all right. Well, if you enjoyed Worst of the Week, it will be a day later. It'll be launching tomorrow morning. Sorry, this one took priority, and we'll talk to you later, people. We love you.
take care.